morning, everyone. Good morning. How are y'all?
Yes, great.
Can I have a show of hands? How many of y'all have actually gone for some sort of resume writing classes or training? Any of y'all? No, not at all. You don't have any exposure to that at all. Alright, okay. Let's make this fun, relax, be interactive. If you have any questions at any time, please speak. Okay, what is a resume? What's the purpose of a resume? Anyone, what's the purpose of a resume? To get a job. To get a job. Yes, it is. It's basically a summary of your work experience, your educational qualifications for a job application. Okay, as you may have experienced or come across, some people call it resume, some people call it CV. There is actually a difference. CV is more elaborate, a lot more information there. Resume is very brief and concise. But nowadays, it's gone interchangeable. CV and resume, it's like the same thing now. But there is a difference. Your resume is very, very important. Why is it important? Because it's your first impression towards your potential employee. That's your written image of you. On that piece of paper, that's you. It's very, very important. And you have to grab the eye of your employee through your resume to want to be able to interview you. Even though it's written, it is also a representation of your communication skills, how well you write. If your written English is not that good, please do get help from somebody. Get help from somebody to do your resume together with you. Not just let someone do it together with you. At least they can correct your grammar, the way you form the sentences and everything. Do you all agree that first impression counts? Yes? Why so? Why do you say first impressions count?
Because they're receiving a lot of resume itself, so we just need to have, we usually have one glimpse.
Yes, correct. Yes. Your potential employee will not have much time to look through every single application. So you need to grab his attention quick. You've got to have something on your resume that grabs his attention. And a good format is very, very important. Very, very important. You cannot have your resume all over the shop. Different fonts, you've got different colors, it's all over the shop. It has to be in a good format, it has to be uniform. Uniform, yes?
I'm just asking, a resume itself. I was reading a few about resume itself a few days ago. Because like for me, I'm interested in the creative industry. They say that in the creative industry itself, people tend to do their resume more creatively. So they sometimes make it colorful, not too much color, just like 3 or 4 types of colors. Put a bit some, I would say, interesting fonts. Is it appropriate or is it too much?
it is appropriate because you are customizing your resume towards a specific job that you're applying for. Like what you said, creative industry with graphic designer, is it?
Visual effects.
Sorry? Visual effects. So that's how you grab the attention as well. Your CV is colorful, but not too much. Too much. It has to still be in a very uniform, good format, but of course you show your creativity through that resume of yours. Right? Anybody else? Any other questions? No? Use simple language, simple sentences. Do not complicate. Do not try to use big words to want to impress. Keep it simple. Simple is the best, direct, straight to the point. Like I mentioned, the screening, the hiring manager might have only about 20 minutes to look through 50 applications. So you have to make it good, catch his eye. Right, so basically it's just you have to have your name, your address, your email address, and your phone number as well. Your contact information is very, very important. Email and phone number is very, very important. I recently came across a very good resume for the positions of logistics manager for one of my clients, but there was no contact information there. No email, no phone number. So even if it's a good resume, nobody can contact you. So and make sure that the email you use is one that you check regularly. There is no point of submitting an email address when you don't check your emails. You would have had someone, your hiring manager, replying you saying that they would like to interview you, but you didn't check your email. Objective is good to have an objective or headline. Headline would be if you are applying for a specific position, then you put that application for the position of at the company. Let's say application for accounts executive at Synergia Consulting. It shows an effort on your part. You put the company's name there and you put the position title that you're applying for. That is if you know what you're applying for. If not, you could also put applying for any suitable position. Any questions so far? And then next you go to your education. List of colleges, universities, degrees, any special awards and honors. If you graduated with honors in your degree, put that in. If you are on a dean's list, put that in. That's important. And of course, then it comes to your work experience. If you has anyone here got work experience? Oh, quite a few. Or can I? What did you do? A barista. For how long? A few months during a semester break. Yourself?
Junior translator at the executive. 2 years.
Translated language from what, English to?
English, Chinese, Chinese.
Interesting. Anyone else? What do you do? What work experience do you have? Yes?
I'm still in training in a college workshop.
No, of course, everything counts. Everything counts. Do not be
embarrassed by what you did, even if it's just a few months. Never say, I was just a server at McDonald's. No, be proud of what you've done. And for all you know, you would have picked up good skills from that part-time work that you've done. Sorry, yes.
About the work experience.
Yes.
So, like I said, I'm trying to pursue the creative industry. Do I have to list out every job that I did before? I mean, I was just a cashier.
No, don't say just a cashier. Yeah.
I mean, just that. I mean, a cashier for a sale cafe for a few months. Then I worked at an office as an office boy for a few months. Then I did some traveling around as a promoter, I believe was the word.
Yeah.
I don't know, the word was mover, sorry. So, do I have to list it out? Because I don't think it's...
Okay, your question is you feel that it's not
Appropriate.
relatable to
Yes,
what
the-
you're applying for.
Yes.
Okay, that is a good question. But it is always good to put everything in there because it also shows you've worked at all these jobs during your semester break on a part-time basis, right? So it shows that you're a independent person who, rather than just enjoying school break, goes and work. Yeah, you see it that way, yeah. And of course, yes, you would also put anything that's relatable to what you're applying for. If you think it's not really relatable, you don't have to elaborate. You just put it like, just where, when, and that's all. You don't need to really elaborate on what you did if you think it's not relatable. Okay? Yes?
I actually gained my degree, so do we have to include our SPM under education front? No.
You can, if you want to, yes.
If you don't want to, it's fine.
It's fine. It's fine. Anyone else? Oh, yes. You only do it like me. Yeah, you can put your PMR and also state that you will
I thought it's just
your next
like
level.
say if you just
Yes.
go through, you just bring your curriculum,
They prefer the curriculum rather than the research.
When you're listing down your responsibilities and the achievements, like I said, keep it brief. Yeah, don't long grandmother story. I was like that. Some job positions like admin. Everybody knows what an admin does, so you don't have to list every single thing down. On a daily basis, I empty the trash bin. You don't need to. Make it simple and brief.
excuse me.
Yeah.
So if say you've done something that's not like admin and stuff, you put in like what do you do? Like for example, I was briefly doing like counseling in Australia where I was working with children in prisons. So do I put things down or do I just say, oh, I've worked with children in prisons?
No, I think that would be a good thing to elaborate on. That's good because it was like a volunteer work, is it?
I was placement.
Placement, yeah. That would be good to elaborate a little bit. At least they have an idea of what exactly you did when you were placed there. Then followed by professional memberships if you have any like MIA, CCA, and such. All these are important if you have. Skills, again, always, okay, the main thing that you have to remember when you are applying for a job, there is no one resume for everything. Customize your resume for the job you're applying for. Customize it. and put related details in there to the job that you're applying for. If you have one resume for everything, it's going to be very general. You are not going to pop up. You're not going to get noticed because it's just so general, nothing specific related to the job that you're applying for. So that is right, it's the skills related to the position. Computer, language, whatever you think is related to the position that you're applying for and you have that knowledge, that experience, put it down, put it in. Yeah. Okay, for me, I feel this is not really necessary, but you can put it in if you want to. Your interests and your hobbies. And if you do write that down, again, make it very brief, don't super long sentences, yeah, no, brief. Like I said, customize. Always customize your resume. Not just one resume for anything that you want to apply for. Okay, references. At the end, you put two. Usually it's two references. It's either if you decide to put your two references in your resume for the job application, make sure that your referees are informed. So they are prepared, they are expecting a call from someone. If you've already informed of them that you might be receiving a call from one of the hiring managers because I've applied for a job, they are prepared. If you don't inform them, they're not ready, you know? Right? Or the other way you can do it when it comes to your references, references would be provided upon request. Then when you go for your interview and they ask for references, you can give it to them and then you can call your referees. References would be maybe your professor. Right now all of you all are studying still, fresh graduates, right? So your professors, or if you have worked before, one of your employers. No friends, no family members, yeah? Not neighbor, not the taxi driver that I got to know last week. Okay. Somebody that really knows you. But saying that, not family members.
The question. Yes.
You say no family members, but what if you're employed by a family member?
I think that's fine. That's fine. Because he or she is also was your employer.
Okay,
Yeah.
because I used to work with my mom's work, because I'm not in work.
Okay, then you should put her, yeah, as a reference. Yes. Yeah, put her title rather than mother. Where's my mommy? Okay, again, arrange everything accordingly. Okay, note this. It says ideal length is 1 to 2 pages because you want to keep it brief. But there is no hard and fast rule about it. If you want to totally stick to that, you might be omitting important, relevant information out of your CV because you're thinking, oh, I cannot exceed 2 pages. So if you think it's relevant for the job that you're applying for, put it in. Don't be so stuck on that 1-2 pages. Yeah? Because you've got to cast, yes.
Sorry, I was just wondering, what if you're doing your own business? Should we put it in the resume?
Yes?
And how should we write it?
You own the business,
You own the business.
business owner?
Business owner.
Yeah.
Alright, okay.
or managing director of. Because if you want to be managing director.
But when they don't know anything, business meals.
And yeah, font size, don't make it too small, don't make it too big. Between 11 is good, 11 to 12 I feel is good. And use fonts like Arial and Times New Roman. Nothing fancy, please. Nothing, italic and just simple. And always be honest. Never lie on your resume. Never overemphasize things that you don't really know, because they can always do a check. Or if you put a false impression of yourself on paper and you get called for an interview, it's like they'll be saying, what's this? On paper you seem perfect, but when I interview you, it's like I don't know this, I don't know that, and like you're not sure of this, you're not sure of that. So never lie. Always be honest. But when I say honest, never put anything negative in your resume. Yeah. Honesty doesn't mean like, oh, I'm very bad at this and that. No, never put anything negative in your resume. You can put it in another way. Rather than saying something negative, you could say that in areas that I feel I could improve on. You know? So you are saying that you are not so strong in that area, but you acknowledge the fact that you need to improve. You can improve. You want to improve. No negative, yeah, please. And always send your CV in PDF. Don't send a Word document. They would never request for a Word document. Because there is one reason why. If you send in your CV in a Word document, they might accidentally, when they are reading it, they might accidentally edit something. Does that make sense? They might accidentally edit something. What if it's something really important? No, accidentally. So always give it in a PDF format.
You save and then you choose the
Format, especially if you're using the new one. The old one. Save as this one.
Okay, these are the mistakes in a resume. Inappropriate font size, spelling mistakes, repetitive words. Like you keep saying when you're describing your duties and your responsibilities, managed this, managed that, managed. You keep using the same word again and again and again. So try to reword your sentence. Don't keep using the same word again and again. Inconsistent layout. Like I told you earlier, uniform, make sure everything's appropriate. Grammar, please do. Spelling mistakes, check. It's very important. Your punctuations, when you're in Word document, there's spell check, right? Okay. One thing that you have to keep in mind, our English is American English or British English? British English. So there are words like colors, right? The spelling C-O-L-O-R-S, that's American. Ours is C-O-L-O-U-R. But Word will always correct it to the American English, right? So keep all this in mind as well. You have a punctuation where you need to have a punctuation. Okay, using someone else's word, what do you understand of that?
Someone's already
Sorry, copy paste. Correct, copy paste. If you really do or must copy paste, understand what you're copying and pasting. Understand it. Don't just like, wow, this seems good and impressive, just copy paste. And then if you're called up for an interview to ask to elaborate on that, you go like, yeah? Or if you find something that you like of somebody else's, and you understand what it is, try to reword it, rephrase the thing. Again, like I said, that's very important. Never ever use one resume for every job that you apply for. Unprofessional email address. hotbabe@gmail.com. Profeta. What else? Can you give me example of inappropriate email addresses? Monkey Coco. Monkey Coco. Yeah.
I did that.
If you do not have a professional email address, I suggest you go and sign up for one. Specifically for your job applications at least. Yeah? Yes?
Employers not like longer email addresses, or do they prefer shorter email addresses?
Oh, that doesn't matter. That doesn't matter.
How
How long is it?
PENZINKHENCHEN.
Oh boy. Yours is longer? Yours is longer. That's fine because it's your name. Okay. Length is not really not a problem. You just please make sure it's professional, yeah, appropriate. Cluttered information. What do you understand of cluttered information? Yeah, it's very cluttered. It's very messy. Sorry? Yes, mixed around. Like if you want to put education, right? Alright, education and then maybe your certificates and your training. So that is like you lump it up in one. Like no education here, and then at the end of the resume you put your training there, and so categorize it. Usage of abbreviations. Department becomes DEPT. Accounts becomes ACC. Use the full word. Any other examples of abbreviations you can give me? That's a very good. So, alright, when I say uniform, make your resumes uniform. If you decide to use, like you said, months, right? If you want to use DEC as in instead of DEC, MBR, the whole word, then all throughout it should be that way. If you use DEC and then the next month, your previous employment, you put August, you spell August out fully. So make it uniform.
Yes, what about university name? It's like on top I already write like Michigan State University, in bracket MSU. So like at the bottom, can I just write MSU?
Yes, you can. Okay, you don't all have this, right? Okay, can we have a group discussion? We point out what are the mistakes and the faults in that. Just try to spot what's wrong with it.
resume, normally some employers want you to put a picture right at the top there.
Yes.
So is that like a must or?
You should. Okay. One important thing, your resume should always have a photograph. Yeah, a photograph. You can put it like this in the right hand corner. But please appropriate, not a selfie. not you lounging on the bed. Professional, preferably a passport picture of yourself. I'll give you an experience that I see a lot of resumes on a daily basis. I'm a headhunter. So I was putting in an application for one of the candidates and I needed her photograph. I asked her for her photograph. She sent me 5-6 pictures of herself on holiday at a wedding dinner. So my response was, this is for a job application. Do you have a proper professional picture? Then she sent me a passport picture. Yeah? I don't know. It's a good question. And she has work experience, years of work experience. Yes?
No, about the photo itself.
Sorry?
About the photo. You need to have to send a passport photo or just like me on my resume. And then it's all very cool and all formal. So I just cropped it. Is it appropriate or?
That's okay too. It doesn't have to be a passport photograph. But yeah, as long as you don't see anything distracting in the background and you are appropriately dressed and you say you cropped it, right? So it's just here, that's fine. That's fine. Any questions?
Do you do color printing or? I just bring my passport. It's color for you. It's pretty cheap also.
Yes. Bullet point would be better.
How current? How current?
Is
Doesn't
definitely
matter if I take 10 years ago. I was that young.
Okay, what are the mistakes here?
10 years ago is when I came Continental age.
Yes. Inconsistent font size and inconsistent font as well. Yes. Use of color. And never do this, yeah. Key performance index. Never do that. Don't. The hiring manager is not going to have time to go and look at what's that. Just have everything there. This is, for me, it's laziness. Or just don't really care. Not much thought put in it. What else?
Some of the things is centralized, like the interest part is in the center of the page rather than at the side.
Yes. And this, the interest, it's like, this is what I mean by keep it simple. Yeah, simple. Phone number. Right? Please reply quick. Baik tidak? Cepat-cepat. Cannot. Anything else?
Listing responsibilities.
Yeah, exactly. List down your responsibilities. And you didn't mention what sort of job Yeah, there is no headline.
What should we put down here to replace this?
Looking forward to hearing from you soon.
Very indirect way of saying education.
Yeah, sorry, another thing, this part here, this shouldn't be in your resume. This is in your cover letter. Yours sincerely. And looking forward to hearing from you soon.
Should employment history come first after education, or you can put education first?
Education should come first.
Education.
Because most of the time you will be relatable to what job you're applying for. So right up front the hiring manager will be able to say, this is what she did. She studied this.
But if my employment history is related to my job, not my next job,
So that's why, because you see, if you put education up first, it's only going to take that much space. So immediately your employment history comes in. So it's not really a problem. Do you all have any questions? No? Questions? Yes. You mean on which page? Yes, it's a must. Yeah. It would be advisable to have a photograph because there are a lot of MNC companies especially, they would want a photograph of yours. So it's good. So just standardize, always put a photograph. Always.
Yes, that was there. Say the right thing there.
Find out who's
No, it depends. I feel like
right, but I still have so I just
especially if it's like you
Like
already keep
for
your
some
resume and
of you
everything
have worked before, be it part-time or maybe after your SPM you actually worked for almost a year, then you went to do your diploma or your degree, or after diploma you worked and you did your degree, right? So when it comes to your work experience, there is inconsistency. The timeline is not consistent, right? There's a lot of gaps. So please do put a line there, reason for leaving, to further my studies. You know, what's the reason? Rather than the hiring manager trying, when he sees your resume, like, what is there gaps? So you, before he actually has the question of why are there gaps, you've already explained reason for leaving, further studies, or maybe whatever the reason. And reason for leaving is in the future when your work experience has accumulated, you will have a lot, right? A lot of employments. There would be, maybe you were there for just 3 months. You jump a lot. That is also something not very good to do if you keep jumping jobs. But if you have a valid reason, put it down. Put the reason of why you were only there for 3 months.
If you put the reason like we are seeking Singapore experiences, is it okay?
I think a better way to do it is seeking a better career opportunity.
Or if we join a volunteer group and then can we put that in our resume or
Volunteer group, yes, of course. It's a good thing to have. It shows that you take initiative. No. No, that's too much. No.
Is it yours?
All this English, geography, economics, C, no. Do not put this. SDPM, all these, do not put that. And this, I would rather, your education, right? I would rather you do it this because that is very cluttered, right? Yes. Very, very cluttered. So, level. Do it this way, it's better. It's clear. Level meaning what you studied. SPM, Bachelor of Accountancy, graduation year. If you haven't graduated yet or you're in the process of doing your degree, let's say, then expected completion date and location, of course, the institute. Which university or institution?
Excuse me.
Sorry? Yes?
What about when? Where should I put that? Do I need to put it? When? When? Malaysia University English Test. Where should I put that?
Oh,
In the education, in the school section, or just a section of
we
it?
try to lump it up together. If, like, say, you're going to put education, training, and whatever certifications and whatnot, try to put it in one.
Or in the certification?
Yeah, you can put it under certification.
Or like the education?
Certification, yeah. But still, try to put it in one category. I mean, like in a same area, rather than you put your education there, and then right at the end, you put your certification. Achievements, yes. Achievements is a very, very good thing to have in your resume. But then again, keep it simple. Where do you put your achievements? What you can do is after, when, like this, because this is all wrong, but your employment history, you list on your responsibilities, and then the next is achievements, if you have any achievements. Yeah, or like, yeah, any, best employee award.
So this is like education, right? I was wondering if this one is okay, like because it's really simple to actually implement.
Yep, that's fine too. As long as it's easy to read, don't have it all cluttered, messy. Honestly, I see so many resumes every day that when it's all cluttered, I don't even want to read it. That's me, you know. Can you imagine the hiring manager? Always, when writing your resume, always keep in mind what job you're applying for.
This one I just took it from the
And
word
in that
template.
sense, you can rearrange of the information. Always keep in mind what you're applying for. If you think your education is going to be very important for the job you're applying for, then that should be up there. If you think your skills are important for that specific job, put it up there. Elaborate more, give more information. When you apply for a job, that's the job requirement, right? So you know what they're looking for. You know what they're looking for, and if you have experience in that, put that in. That is why you cannot have one resume for all. Yes, if you have a whole set of skills, rather than listing everything, you know the job you're applying for, you know what you're looking for in skills-wise, put it in. But be honest, be factual, put it in. Because you cannot be listing every single
Oh my goodness. Driver.
You don't have your phone number yet? Only email or phone number, sorry. Email. So you've split your contact details. So put your address first, phone number, and make it uniform in a good sequence. It's fine too if you don't want to put your address, it's fine.
As long as there's at least one way to contact.
Yes, phone number and email is the most important. If you do not want to put your full address, it's fine. Or you can just put Petaling Jaya, or whatever. Make it brief if you don't want to put your full address. Like, rather than just putting everything here. Results as in what you got, A, B, C, what results, what you for diploma, your transcript. No. You just state what you studied, where, when you graduated. You do not need to put your results in there. Mobile number. Okay, put your mobile number there. Summary, achievement.
So if let's say I used to join a lot of activities, so would you prefer if it is all down but less elaborative, or less but more
Activities when you're in university?
Yeah.
Then you can put 10, maybe you've spoken 10, and then this one 9, and this one 8 is 7.
Level macam, I don't know, I jumpa online dia cakap macam sama ada you like.
Yeah, okay. 1 is worse, 10 is good.
Yeah, good. But for like SPM and all, you don't need to. Your studies, what is your down there? Education, facilitation. I love your laptop. Your laptop, right?
It's in the email.
Sampai tak? Dia bawa attention, bawa ni. Citra. Pasang extension, pasang wire.
Drive towards and
Ni ada lagi satu ni lah, macam ni kan. Lepas tu booster.
Okay, not full. At least not full. Family along. Stay in the jungle.
Sorry, personal summary and then your...
It was all there.
Address, mailing address, email address, just address.
No, actually I
And then status, okay. Hobbies, not so.
Someone out there just
Yep.
So put under a company.
If you know what company it is, right? So you put the company name. Application for the position of animator at the company.
Say Inspidia lah.
Yeah.
At Inspidia 19.
Yes.
Okay.
Okay, that would be skills, right? You can shorten that, make it brief. Fast learner, you mean?
Fast learner, yeah.
Fast learner.
You don't need to put your results. No.
I thought they want to see that.
No, you don't need to.
It's okay.
No, this employment history?
My study
Program. Course.
Oh.
And this is my course lah. Delete.
So these are all separate courses then?
It just means that we have to label everything though. And like you have to put your I don't know, I find online usually.
No, you don't need to. No, name as in you just write your name. It's understood that's your name, right? It's understood. You don't have to say that this is my name. Then it would be better to do it this way. Put your address so it's fine. If you want to put your name in the middle here, and then followed by your email address and your contact number.
So here is fine, right? I don't have to go way back.
You have, separation.
Like for this, that like make a bullet point or just leave it like that? It's everywhere.
You don't have to say training and courses attended. Obviously you attended it. Right? So it's just training courses.
So like seats.
Again, like I said, my phone number, my email address is on the second page. Please feel free to drop me an email.
No, yeah. Oh, yeah. Mana? This one.
Oh, that's right. For kids, no, you have to.
Yeah, finally.
Finally. People say that schools have personal policies on job security.
It is important because it gives a brief summary of yourself, a brief introduction of who you are, what you can do, what you can bring to the organization that you are wanting to join. So it is important, always put in a cover letter together with your resume for your job application. But again, cover letter should be brief, not definitely not more than one page. Just about a paragraph is enough, more than enough. So if you have these three things, okay, first is an introduction. Why are you writing them? Why are you writing to the hiring manager? I, am applying for the position of whatever in your company. That is your purpose of writing, right? If you know the name of the hiring manager, of course, dear so-and-so, Mr. Ahmad or whatever. If you don't, then it's dear sir/madam. Tell them what you have to offer. Why they should hire you. What are your skills? What have you learned? What are your strengths? Again, always keep in mind on the job that you're applying for, the position that you're applying for, and write all the related details in your cover letter. Like I said, if you know the hiring manager's name, please do insert his or her name. If not, sir, madam. Simple, do not make it complicated. Easy, simple words. Again, you're applying for a job, you know what the job requirement is, right? It's already stated what they are looking for, so put that in related to what you can bring, what you can offer. experience, maybe during your part-time or the semester break or whatnot. Bring that up, put that in. Yeah, whatever experience you have related to the job that you are applying for. But again, don't elaborate too much. Brief straight to the point. And how you can contribute. What can you bring to the company? Why should they hire you? Negativity, right? I covered that just now. No negative things in your cover letter or in your resume. Cover letter is the first thing the hiring manager will read. So that's your opportunity for you to catch his attention. If that catches his eye, then he would want to read your resume. Always understand they don't have much time. They are very busy and they've got a lot of applications to go through. So you've got to really catch their eye. Again, having your contact details so that you are contactable. And if you misspelling, grammar and typos and all that, and what you write there, I am very meticulous and detail oriented. But there is tons of spelling and grammar mistake. You're not very detailed, are you? Huh? Once you send in your application, you can do a follow-up. Do not wait for the employer to call you. You can do a follow-up. Writing in again. I asking if are there any chances of an interview? What's the status of your application? Maybe they have already gone through it and you are not shortlisted, but they have not informed you. So it's okay to do a follow-up. About a week, if you do not hear anything, that will be good to follow up. Yeah, but not immediately, yeah? Send in your application tonight and tomorrow morning you call. That's a bit too pushy. What do you understand of this? Don't reword your resume when you're writing your cover letter. That means whatever is in your resume, you just write that in your cover letter. It's redundant, it's the same thing. Come up with something. Highlight your strengths. Okay, so that's an example of a cover letter. The first part is your purpose of writing, because you want to apply for a job, right? So you state the purpose, and that will be all what you need to say about yourself. Followed by thanking. Okay, this part here, I hear it attached. It's understood that your resume is attached. You don't need to write that. Thanking them. Okay, for your phone number and your email, you can either put it at the last part of the cover letter or here under your name. Any questions? Questions?
For signature, can we just put our name there, or do we have to look at the image of our actual signature?
You don't need to, because it's all via email. You don't need to actually sign it.
Is there any difference for the cover letter that you email and the one that you send? Is there any difference?
not really. But the email, if you email them, try to make it brief. I don't think anybody mails a cover letter anymore. It's all via email.
You know, some people ask you to mail them, so you actually have to.
Yeah, you can do your cover letter in PDF and have it as an attachment other than your resume.
What's that? What did you say? What was the question?
Oh, you just said me without knowing what the question was. How many of y'all have been to an interview? Me! How was your first experience? Your first interview?
I paid that.
Not nervous. They treat me very nicely, but they bought the fake comment for me. In the clinic childcare.
Okay, once you get an appointment for an interview, it is very, very important to do your background check on the company. Very important. You cannot go for an interview without knowing anything about the company that you are applying for. Because questions will be asked when you go, like, what do you know of us? What do we do? I mean, if you don't even know what they do and you want to apply a job with them, it's not a positive thing to portray during your interview. If you're not sure on where the location is, find out. Don't not only rely on Google, even Google sometimes you can get lost, right? So if you're really not sure, you're kind of clueless where it is, make the effort to go there, drive and look for the location, number one, at least a day or two before. So you're very sure and so you won't be lost. You get lost, you'll be late. When you get late, you panic. You start like, oh my God, I'm late, and then you'll be all nervous. Anticipate questions. Prepare yourself on what the interviewer might or might not ask. Get your folder ready. What should you have when you go for an interview? Sorry? All your certs. Anything else? Your resume?
Portfolio.
Okay, like if you're going for a graphic designer job, you need to have all your artwork, your portfolio. Bring that along. Make sure it's all organized so it's easy to retrieve when the interviewer wants to take a look at it. Neat and organized. Your testimonials, your transcripts, recommendation letters, anything. How would you dress? Would you go like this? No. Why not? Yes, dress professionally, formal, but you don't have to be like, in a suit, in a tie. It's not necessary. If you want to, it's good, but you don't need to. For the guys, at least a tie. Long sleeve shirt and a tie. Ladies, skirts, pants, dresses, traditional outfits, whichever is fine, but go in safe colors. You don't go in a skirt which is pink and a top which is orange and then you got a shawl which is green. What's the safe color? Light green, blue, brown, yeah? White. Yeah. Don't over accessorize, ladies. Big chunky earrings, 10 bangles, and anklets everywhere, and a chunky necklace. Don't over accessorize. Keep it simple. A hat.
Mickey Mouse ribbon.
And make sure it's, like I said, there's no orange, pink, green coordinate. Coordinate your colors lah. Arrive earlier. In fact, 15 minutes. I think you should be there earlier by at least 30 minutes. I feel at least 30 minutes. And always give the. Remember, when you're leaving, you might encounter traffic. You might there might be an accident which is going to delay you. So keep all that in account of how when you should be, when you are able to arrive there. You're going to look for parking. You might be very early, but then you can't find parking. Eventually you are late. Be calm. I know you get very nervous. You start sweating and whatever not, but calm yourself down, take deep breaths. So that is why you need to arrive earlier. If you arrive late, that's going to make things worse. Huh? Make sure you have enough sleep the night before. Be well groomed. Well groomed meaning your clothes are ironed, your hair is neat and tidy. Ladies, put on a little bit of makeup if you can. Not supermodel kind of thick layer, not too much. Tiny bit is enough. Look presentable. Personal hygiene. Instead of being, everybody gets what that is, right? You don't want to go with smelly armpits, do you? From the moment you step in, from the receptionist to whoever you meet before you actually go into the interview room, smile, acknowledge them, greet them, eye contact. Everyone there is important. Okay, that's how you sit.
Could you perhaps try in the center here? Huh? Can you perhaps try in the center where everything is? Okay.
I need a table. And then everyone see me. Okay, wait, right. If you have a lot of things with you, right? If let's say it was raining and you have an umbrella with you, leave the umbrella outside with the receptionist, don't bring it in. Yeah? All you need to bring is your, ladies, your bag, or maybe guys, some of you all carry bags as well, just your bag, put it down on the floor or the chair next to you. The only thing that's going to be on the table is your folder. That's all. Nothing else. Don't be walking into the interview room with a can of Coke, which I had this experience. Walked in with a can of Coke and a Coke can was on the table during the interview. That's a no-no, right? Other examples I can give you is during the interview, this girl, they had a bowl of sweets on the table. She just kept munching and munching one after the other, and all the wrappers were, on the table, and when she left, this. And another experience of mine, he came in with a cold. He had a flu. Sometimes it's unavoidable, you have a cold. If you really do need to blow your nose, if you think it's gonna be a big messy one, it's okay to excuse yourself. They can see that you're not very well. It's okay to just quickly excuse yourself and do it, because it's not going to be very nice if you go, blow your trumpet right there and all yellow, gooey, green stuff comes out. Not Yeah, she.
Nothing.
Yo.
There's one more.
Wait,
Similar one.
I haven't finished this one yet. The flu one. Yeah. So she had a cold, a slight cold. She kept taking out tissues and like wiping, and then lined up all the dirty tissues. So don't do things like that, yeah? Okay, your example, Ika.
Handphone.
Make sure your mobile phone is on silent. Do not put it on the table.
This is one of the interviewee that I interviewed. She came to the room and then sit down. Hold on. No! Serious. Don't do that.
Then you tell the interviewer to hold on.
Or maybe there's a call come. I'm interview. No, don't do that.
Oh, so put even before, once you already arrive there, and they know, like say the receptionist or whatever know you are there. Phone silent. Even if you feel it vibrating, don't answer, because you can never know while you're waiting. You're in the waiting room. You're on the phone, and you get called in. So don't. I mean, maximum how long is it going to take? An hour? You can live without your phone for an hour, right? Yeah. What else? Good posture. How would you sit? You should be relaxed, but not too relaxed. Yeah? Not too relaxed or like a gangster. Relaxed, but with a good posture. Sit back a bit, but still not like this is not natural. Sit back, good posture. What do you do with your hands? Like this? What do you do with your hands? Yeah, you can put them on your lap, and I think it's acceptable if you do this too. But don't be so fidgety, yeah. If it's a glass table, and you've got your hands at the bottom, and you're like, can see. So don't shake your leg. Even though it's a wooden table, but your body, they can see you're shaking your leg. Don't do that. Don't be all fidgety and whatever not. Eye contact. Eye contact is really, really, really important.
Naren, yes. I don't think this part can see.
Oh, sorry. I don't know where to sit then. You all get it right?
Yeah. You can do two parts. One part over there and one part.
Excuse me. So, crossing your legs is okay, is it?
It's fine.
What if there's no table? What if there's no table?
If there's no table, that's wrong.
There's no table.
Especially if you cannot actually, like me, you cannot cross your leg.
I think it's fine to cross your leg like this.
Not like that.
I think this is fine. If you're comfortable that way, it's fine. You don't want to be in a position where you're not comfortable. This is very unnatural. I mean, like, you feel so. Take one huh? Wala pengantin. Okay, like I said, acknowledge everyone from the very beginning, from the receptionist to all that you come in contact with. Be polite, knock, enter, greet, wait before taking a seat. Wait until you say, please take a seat. Which I mentioned, fold out the table, everything else should be on the floor, the chair next to you. Do the background. Be honest, never lie. Talk about that. When you give the references, yeah, they can call the company, they can have. They can call your school, they can call your college, they can call your university. Some do. Some do. Honestly, some companies actually go to your Facebook as well. They do. It depends, yeah. It depends on the company, it depends on what job you're applying for. But yes, they do, some of them do.
But they can find your phone. Without your email. No, just in case they find.
And it's not unless you totally block, you know, or you put your settings as if they are not on your list, they can't see anything. You know, that would be the safest. That would be the safest. Have your privacy settings on.
Unless I like normally people friend me, right? I look at the list of them.
I know some people do that.
I don't even click ignore, I just totally ignore. So it's like there forever.
Yeah. One account is more than enough. But if you think you have, might be some things that are quite inappropriate on your list.
Yeah, I just leave it there. I scared like
then you might want to create one.
like you know some people you don't like, right?
But the
But
best
you
now,
don't like
do
to
your
them, so you just
privacy
if you just ignore it, it's scared that you know that you like. So like kind of
I want to ask what if I want to go to the zoo and then I got a flu, just like today, flu and sore throat. Why is it okay if I wear this mask? No, just let it be. And I thought this can cover.
No, that's no.
Go for a walk. It's like, oh, I'm different. But underneath, actually. Yeah, I'm just here to be
Okay, that is what I want to share with you. Yeah. When you get an interview invitation, and let's say you've confirmed it. It's like, okay, now next week Friday I'm confirmed for 3 p.m. You've already confirmed your attendance for the interview. But then you change your mind. You either change your mind or because you've been going for a lot of interviews, maybe 2 days before that scheduled interview, you got an offer. You got an offer, please inform them that you've already accepted another offer. Don't just leave them in the dark. You know, on the day of the interview, Friday, it's 3:10, where is she? And they're calling you, you know it's them calling, and you don't want to answer your phone. Don't do that. It's fine if you change your mind or you accepted another offer, but inform them. We have a lot of this kind of experiences. A lot. Yeah. They are so afraid of telling us that no, I don't want to, or no, I can't. They just ignore our calls. They wouldn't even pick up calls, they wouldn't answer SMS, they wouldn't reply to emails. And we are put in a situation that we have to explain to our client, I'm so sorry, I can't contact her. There is a high chance that they are not going to show up. That's a no-no. Don't do that. It is totally fine to say that you've changed your mind. At least they are informed, they are not waiting for you. It's worse because hiring managers, they are all so busy, but they've taken that time to clear their schedule to meet you. So have the same courtesy, towards them. Be professional. Yeah? And when you apply for a job, be very, very sure it is something that you want to do, not just for the sake of applying for a job. Just not dumping your resume everywhere. Be sure that it is something you actually want to do. If not, it's going to come back to the same situation again where you get an interview and then suddenly say, I don't want to do this. So be sure of what you want.
have JobStreet or Monster.
Are you any members of any the job portals? JobStreet, yes.
Please keep in mind, if you apply to GenJobs or Monsters and you are shortlisted for an interview
and you don't show up, you will be blacklisted.
Yeah. There's no way you can apply for a job anymore.
You will be blacklisted.
Be careful.
Keep your records clean.
Even some big companies, if you do that to them, yeah, that's it. And they are affiliates, is it?
Affiliates,
yeah.
Subsidiaries and all that, everyone will blacklist you.
Yeah. They have this connection.
Keep your records clean. Alright, after the interview, of course, stand up, shake hands, thank them. And after that, it is fine, totally fine to send a thank you. Of course, nobody sends letters by mail anymore, right? Postal mail. So send them a thank you email. Send them a thank you email and follow up. Oh, what's that? Yeah, follow up about. If let's say they've given you timeline, in a week we will get back to you. If in a week you've not heard from them, it's fine. It's okay to call them and follow up. It's okay.
Small note. What? Small note? Small note?
Like thank you.
On the employee's car? So how would you know that it's his or her car?
You don't need the car.
No, that will freak him out. Yeah.
Over enthusiastic.
Yeah, okay, this is all covered already.
Unless of course they get family.
And then be confident. Calm down and be confident. There's no reason to panic and to be on jittery, and it makes things worse.
Miss Mary, I have a question. What if you are attending an interview and then they ask you certain questions where you cannot answer? So what kind of answer that you're looking for?
You cannot answer because you don't know? Because you don't know, right? Whatever they ask you, you don't know. Then be honest and tell them you don't know. Be honest. If you don't know, you say you don't know. Don't try to bullshit your way through. That's worse. You try to make up things, try to lie. That's worse. So be honest. Say, I'm so sorry, that is something that I don't know. Be honest.
I remember reading somewhere that employers will ask certain trick questions like why are manhole covers round and stuff. I remember reading that about Google does that.
Trick questions?
Yeah, is that you would. Because I remember
Your IQ.
Yeah, I remember reading Google. Some big major corporation like Google actually will ask you questions like that. Or was it Microsoft? Did they do that?
Okay.
Give something that you can come up with.
But like you said, you think that Google and Microsoft does that. If you are applying jobs in companies by which you are aware that they do that, then be prepared.
I'm just wondering if they don't normally do that, right?
Normally, no. It all depends on the position you're applying for and the company, but that's quite rare. Not so. But let's say if you know Microsoft and Google are doing that, and you were going to apply for a job with them, so be prepared. Huh? But no, it's not really. Why is the menu cover round square? Yeah, why? If it's square, it will fall right through.
Why does the candidate does not mistake it?
Oh, I remember. What is job the experience. In my PM funding, so the person said, okay, this class. I went there. I was wearing. I think I was wearing white shirt, jeans, and
Actually, not. I don't know. I'll find out.
sneakers. And like she said, no, you can't wear like this today. Sorry, and we're interviewing right in front of the
Sorry guys, when I say be honest, if you don't know something, say you don't know, but you don't say I don't know. How do you put it? How would you put it in a proper sentence?
I'm lacking in experience.
Yeah, you can do that also. You know, I'll find out and I'll get back to you if you think they will allow you to do so. Or if not, you can say, I'm so sorry. I'm afraid that I do not have much experience when it comes to I'm not sure. It's just like almost the same as saying I don't know. Or you can say if you have a rough idea, then of course make it clear that yes, you have a rough idea of what it is, but you're not too sure. Too sure, yeah. Make sure you let them know that. Okay, the do's and the don'ts. Talk too much. This is something you should never do, Badmouth your previous employers. It is not, doesn't show a good light on what kind of person you are. Don't ever. Yeah. In fact, I can relate to you if it was the other way around. The interviewer was the interviewer, not the interviewee, he was bad-mouthing his company at that time while interviewing someone. So that's the other way around now. But never bad-mouth your company, your previous company or your current company. Please, no money. Never bring up money in, during the first interview, unless they bring it up. If they bring it up, it's fine, but never straight away. So what's the salary going to be? How are you going to get paid? Ada allowance? No, don't do that. Unless they bring it up, then it's fine. You know, they might ask you, what are you expecting? What kind of a package are you looking out for? Then that's fine, but not don't. Talk too much. You just go on and on and on and on and on.
You can see it from your face.
If you talk too much, after a while they're not paying attention to you. Too much. Just like how there can be too much in your resume, right? That is your resume is your written self, right? So too much coming from you in person kills the resume. Yeah.
How do you, if they ask you like what you're expecting, how much you're expecting, how do you respond if you're not too sure?
You would have an idea of what they are offering, right? The range of that position. And if you've worked before, you know how much you're earning back. How much are you looking? What are you looking? How much more do you want?
Try to ask someone who did the same job. How much they earn?
So do I go for the lowest possible transfer that
Actually, I'm the thing is,
yeah,
you would try to negotiate.
Because then you will come to the negotiation, they will negotiate. If you're going to start all low already, then
You can give them the range, right?
No, the range also is not really good because they just take the lowest.
And that's what they gave you, right?
Then you say, oh, but it's still negotiable.
No, it's okay. When they ask you what you're expecting, it's totally fine to be honest. But again, be realistic. Give a realistic figure which applies to everybody.
Okay, thank you. We'll call you.
Fresh graduates usually starting salary is about 2,000.
I call them. Yes, today they are processing.
Fresh graduates 2,005.
2005. Yes, but it can go as low as 1
Yeah.
If you have no experience, it's 1 No matter you are master graduate or you are degree holder, yeah, you can go as low as that.
During the interview stage, they didn't mention about salary, and then you got the one they offer you is not the expected salary that you want. Is it very bad to turn down?
No, of course not. If it's really something that you cannot accept, you're not willing to compromise on, maybe they offer you a lot lower than what you want, no, it's totally fine for you to reject it. It's totally fine.
Fine to reject even though they already offered.
Yes, it's fine. It's up to you. It's you who are going to be doing the job, you know. It's up to you. It's totally fine to reject it because if you're going to just accept it in the fact of being afraid to say no, and then you're going to be stuck in a job. No, of course not. No.
Do you have to like give them a reason like why you're rejecting like that because the salary is too low?
Yeah, it's fine. If they are really giving you something so much more lower than what you're asking and what you're expecting, you can be honest with them and say, I actually want more, you know. It's fine. Or it could be any other reasons, you know, maybe you don't have certain benefits that you thought you would have. Anything, just be honest with them. Try not to do that. Try to like at least leave the premises first, rather than instead of like it's still it's nice, you know, when you're interview over already, I don't care lah, answer phone, you know. Don't try to please not say anything. Because it's just a matter of minutes, you're already whoever it is.
Any questions?
I was thinking what should I
say if manager ask us one question and you can just answer what.
If the questions are got to do with the job which will hire you for, of course it will make a difference. That will show that you do not have enough experience for the person, for the job, for the person that you're looking for.
That one should have.
Yeah, it all depends on your experience. It all depends on how much they sometimes, most of them, but attitude-wise, very good. You know, they like your personality, they like the way you talk, and they can see that you have very high potential. They are quite willing to compromise on the fact that you actually have enough. So that's why it's not only your qualifications that is important, your personality, your attitude is very important. Very, very important.
Have you checked with them why?
Yeah, because they said they're switching me to another position. I've applied for chemistry. Now I'm going to do PR for it's a restaurant. So they're like, we have another provision that you have to finish or fulfill.
So it's a change of your job scope.
There is a reason why company give you probation period. They want to see whether you fully fit with that position or not. If they find that
you're not performing well, not well, performing well. So,
I think it was, they pushed this, I think I'll approach you later.
okay.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah. Any other questions?
What is a probation?
What is a probation? Okay, when you get employed with a company, you have a probation period which is between, it can range between 3 to 6 months. Yeah.
Trial.
Trial, yes. Yes.
You have a trial?
But they still give salary.
No, of course, you get paid. It's just that you are not a confirmed employee yet. They are testing you out.
Not contract.
No. Probation and contract is different. Your contract ends, your contract ends. Probation is different. They would want to see your performance, how well you are doing. If everything's fine, then they will confirm you. But of course, if they feel that you've underperformed, they might extend your probation. They would extend your probation, give you another chance. So when you first start off, it's very, very important to, do well. Or I'm not saying after probation you can slack lah. These are some of the very common questions interviewers would ask. Yeah. Okay. Ika and myself, about a month ago, we had a whole 2-week session of interviewing. One of our clients outsourced the interviewing to us. The most difficult question, tell me about yourself. Seems simple, right?
Yeah.
But almost all of them had problem answering that question. Tell me about yourself. So be prepared. That's a very common question in interviews. So prepare yourself.
You don't need to start with, my name is, they all know your name. And then you don't need to say, I'm 25 years old, I live in Shalam. No, they know already. It's something different.
So prepare, sit down, think about it. What can I say? What should I say? You have be prepared rather than going to tell me about yourself.
Can you tell me the personality?
Yeah, of course. Yeah, very motivated. Which also comes, if you want to talk about your attributes, that is what is your strength. Even that also is a difficult question. A lot of people have problem with that. What is your strength? Okay, so what you do is you relate it to the job that you are applying for. That will make it easier for you to come up with what your strengths are, because it applies to the job you're applying for. Weakness, like I said, don't say anything negative, right? But they ask you what's your weakness. So instead of saying that I am weak in this, I am poor in that, say there is room for improvement for me when it comes to whatever. Don't put it in like straight negative. I'm weak, I'm poor. No. That's the fourth question also. It's very, very common. Why should a company hire you? Give them all your positive points, your experiences. How would you answer question number 5?
How do you handle stress?
How do you handle stress? How do you answer the question? Jogging. So when you're at work, you can't go out jogging, can you? Because like, sorry boss, I'm going to take a jog. I'm very stressed. Chocolate. Chocolate. Music. Meditation. And free office, you're meditating. Your face half an hour. But you know why they ask you that question, right? They want to know can you perform under stress. They don't want somebody that will break easy when there's a little bit of pressure and stress on them. Yeah, so someone that starts crying, burst out in tears when there's too much of pressure on them. You cry, you're distressed, you crack. What is it?
She cries if you answer that, I cry.
Oh, that's very bad. That's bad. If you are really that kind of person that does cry when you're stressed or pressured, please do it in the toilet. In private. If you need to. It could be a way for you to release, but do it discreetly, not in front of everyone. Go to the toilet. Quietly cry.
Sorry. I remember my friend was so stressed, and then she said, "Everyone, don't look at me. I'm going to cry." It's okay, we need the conditions.
If you've not really gone through a stressful situation, then try to think of how would you handle it if you are going through it. Find ways. You have to release. You need to find an outlet. If not, you're going to burn out. And an employer wouldn't want to burn out employees. Huh? Any questions? There is no the template. This is all on the individual. I can't give you a template on how and what to say.
But maybe in your tell me about yourself, you can include your strength. And then maybe you say you like to travel, but because I love to travel, how to say, more open-minded, something like that. Flexible,
exposed to a lot of things,
you
different
can relate to
cultures,
things,
different
nationalities,
nationalities,
and how it helps you. Because I'm flexible, I can do multitask.
Yeah, have you ever received a good social
But actually the best, not necessarily what exactly they say, it's more so that they say it in confidence. Yeah, they do it, they answer it in confidence. Not like, they know what to say, but they're like timid and I am this, but if you do it in confidence, answers immediately and you confidentially answer it, that's the very good impact. Yeah? She was so confident.
Even with the broken English, but
yeah.
What itu, but then
Yeah, even if she had, she wasn't very proficient in English, and even her bahasa also was okay, but she did not lose her confidence.
There's one question here.
Oh yeah, sorry.
Yeah. If you get called for a group interview, what usually do you expect to outperform, or what is there any tips that you can share with us? What actually usually the interviewer look for in a group interview?
If it's a group interview, normally they want to see how well you work in a team, and they would want to pick out who are the followers, who are the leaders, and who's the one who can take
Pressure.
Sorry?
Pressure?
Well, in that short time, there's not going to be much pressure, but whether you give, how much input do you give, or you're the kind of person who just sits there and listens and, nothing to input, no input. Yeah, so all that.
So is it a bad thing, like if they pinpointed you as one of the followers instead of the leaders?
No, it's not. Everybody can't be leaders. You need people to follow. And if you got nobody to follow, who are you going to lead?
Usually in a group interview, everyone wants to speak up. So how do you handle that? Because when you want to lead also, at the same time there are people who also want to show their leadership skill at the same time.
Try to, don't be so bossy. Don't be so bossy, because that is another thing that they will see. Say, oh, she's
or say she's pushy. Just assert yourself. Just don't cross the line that you seem bossy and pushy. That's what they want to see also. They see a lot of things when it's a group interview. A lot of things they get to pick. They get to have a glimpse of what kind of person you are, your attitude-wise, you know. And from there, they would have a rough idea of would you be a good fit, or maybe you would be a better fit in another position. Maybe they see different, yeah, instead of what you applied for. So it shows a lot. Okay, anything else? Semua lapor kan? Yes.
So easy. Because I can